Brian Linehan from Whitechurch in Cork covered the distance at an average of more than 25 miles per hour.
From GPO to GPO, Cork to Dublin, it's 163.5. Brian Linehan started pedalling at 8 o'clock this morning, knowing he had to reach Dublin by 3 if he was to break the national record, a record that stood since 1955. In fact, he arrived in Dublin almost 3/4 of an hour ahead of the previous time, in 6 hours, 16 minutes and 25 seconds. That's an average of more 25 miles an hour, and he hardly seemed out of breath.
The wind was perfect. You couldn't ask for a better wind. That was most of the problem. I had one problem, right, a mechanical problem, that they changed the bike halfway through. But I asked about 5 minutes there, but I got over that. The wind made up for that.
Among the first to congratulate Brian was the man who'd held the record for so long. Con Carr from Monasterevin, who's now 74, said he couldn't stay at home on a day like this.
2nd of October 1955. I remember the day well. And, a picture of that record was the last 50 miles from Port East to Dublin. I covered it in 2 hours and 9 minutes. Whereby I mightn't have cycled the first 60 or 70 miles well. I finished quite well.
The new record holder is also an accomplished triathlete, but it was the first time he'd attempted a feat like this. He now says a few more records in sight.
Roundup beginning with cycling, and Whitechurch man Brian Linehan of Cork Cycle Club, who spoke to Weekend Sport 2 weeks ago, you may remember, entered the record books last weekend by establishing a new record for the Cork-Dublin solo cycle in a time of 6 hours, 16 minutes, 21 seconds. Brian, a triathlete, set his sights on this record 2 years ago and was nurtured along by Tony McGrath. And earlier they decided that this would be one of Brian's priorities. The main benefactors of Brian's record attempt were Cork's Hospital Radio 106 and the Cork Cycling Club. And of course, the pride and satisfaction of breaking what was the existing record by 44 minutes.
The wind was perfect. You couldn't ask for a better wind. That was most of the problem. I had one problem, right, a mechanical problem, that they changed the bike halfway through. But I asked about 5 minutes there, but I got over that. The wind made up for that.
Well, when we spoke to Brian 2 weeks ago at his place of work in Quinsworth, Pole Street, he was very confident then of achieving his goal, so congratulations indeed. A terrific attempt there by Brian, and no doubt that won't be the end of it. He'll be going on now to try and achieve some more records in the not-too-distant future, I'm sure. And